Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. I'm glad you found me. Fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and this is the evening live stream that I do every night of the week at 7 p.m. And that is uh, live stream called Fight CPS, Stop Taking Our Children. In the morning, I have another one, Fight CPS with Bob Pace. It's at 8 o'clock on the weekends. And then during the weekdays, it's on at 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Now, these two live streams I do 7 days a week. That's 14 live streams. They're worldwide. Everybody can see the live stream and view it if you have internet. I have a total of 23 countries that have expressed an interest in fighting CPS. What I call CPS is the Child Protection System. And I am very, very happily doing this night after night, day after day, weekend after weekend, and month after month, and year after year. I've been doing this now for 21 months. I started October of 2023. And that's 14 shows a week. And those times are all Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Standard Time is the time that I gave you. And I want to say hello there, Betty Joe. Thank you very much for you to come on. Betty Joe is a foster care mother and a mother in real life, and she's from Montana, but she was down in Nebraska checking on her niece, her brother's child. What's the latest there, Betty Joe? Hello, Adrian. Glad that you're back. I don't know if you're some other name because I don't remember Drain, but glad to meet you, Drain. Um, anyway, you say you need help, you come to the right place. I love to help you. There's a couple things you can do that you right now are trying to do is you're texting me a message, which is great. You should either make a question or a comment about CPS. Please state your first name, your city or county, your state, and if you're outside the United States, your country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from the beginning to where you're at the moment. That's if you've never talked to me before. Now, I do have a lot of people that come in here very regularly, and they're part of the family. I know you talked to me yesterday, but I think you had a different name. You've been 3 years of reunification. That's way too long. That's way too long. You're from Atlanta. Okay, you're Atlanta, Georgia. And you're Stephen, okay. And in Fulton County in Georgia. I think you're in Atlanta, Georgia. Fulton County. Okay. Well, tell me more, and I can try to help you, Stephens. Um, Betty Joe, they gave you up to 22 months to get your child back. If not, they take the child and adopt them. I don't know how many months. It took me 3 years to get my children back. I started actually in May of 2015 and then in December 2017. So 15 to 16, 2 years. It took a little less than 2 years. But I did not know there was a time limit of 22 months. I don't know, that varies from state to state. But we have Stefan here, who I guess has been spent 3 years of reunification. That'd be 36 months. Now, Betty Jo says where she's from in Montana, it's 22 months. They gave you 5 case plans, Stefan. That's way too many. That's nationwide. Well, thank you, Betty Jo. I did not know it was nationwide. I've yet to find anything nationwide about CPS, except they love to take our children and be mean and so forth. Now, I just told you how the text message is, and so far we have 2 people in the room, and that's great. Another form of interaction in this live stream is that you can be a guest. on my live stream. I'd love to have you as a guest. I had a guest the other day from Nevada, Carson City, Nevada. Her name was Houston, and she wanted help. And I was trying to put her in touch with Christina Reynoso in Las Vegas, Nevada, but she never did text me her name, her email, or phone number. Now, to be a guest on a live stream, all you do is email our show producer. Her name is Grace at vincentwdavis.com. That's her email address. You email her with one of my 14 times, my live streams. You just say, I want to be on Bob's Sunday night live stream, or I want to be on Bob's Friday morning live stream, or Wednesday morning live stream, or Tuesday night. You just pick the day and then the time of the day, night or morning. That's all it is. Then she'll send you a link, and you copy and paste, and you're on. And there are some rules to follow, like we don't allow profanity. We don't allow the first name of social workers, judges, or children. We don't allow the names. And then we don't allow eating or smoking on the live stream. So to be a guest, that's all you have to do. Now, when I said this is live around the world, I mean it, because I have right now, I have Indonesia and Bangladesh and India. Then up in the Middle East, I have Saudi Arabia and Libya. Then over in Africa, I have Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Mozambique, and South Africa. Then up to Europe, I got the UK, United Kingdom, Scotland and Ireland, Scotland and Wales. And then I got Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond, I got Canada and the United States. And I've talked to all 50 states. And I talked to the Washington, D.C. South of the border is Mexico, I talked to. And then in South America, north of Brazil, I talked to Grenada on the East Coast. Then across the South Pacific, I talked to New Zealand. And then I talked to Australia, the land down under. So that's really a good conference of people. Over 2,000 people I've talked to around the world. And they all have something in common. They're low income. And that means it's hard for them to hire an attorney. And that's one of the most important things you need. You know, we grow up and get married, and we think about getting car insurance and homeowners insurance and medical insurance. But we forget the good kind of insurance you should get, which is legal insurance. You need to get some type of legal insurance because you never know when you might need it. And, people get pet insurance. In fact, it seems pets are taken better care of than our children are. Now, Betty Joe did say that if they're giving you 5 case plans, then they're not helping your case. They're trying to hinder you. You only need 1 case plan for unification. If you did something wrong, it consists of rectifying what you did wrong. It may be a parenting class. It may be a workshop, a drug rehab, domestic violence program, whatever it may be. And you complete those. You should have visitations with your children. There should no restriction of visitation. But a lot of people make a mistake in my rules number 3, where they allow them to come into their home, they allow them to talk to them, they allow them to take the children. You have to understand, you do not have to talk to CPS. You do not have to answer the door. And you certainly don't have to give up your children. There's only 3 ways they can get your children. 1, either you open the door or one of your family members does. 2, they have a warrant to talk to you or inspect your home or to get your child. That warrant has to be issued by a judge. It's a legal document. And the person that serves the warrant are the police. See, police are called by child protection systems to be intimidators. but technically they're there to protect the CPS social workers. They're not supposed to enforce rules or do all these things that the social workers will tell the police to do. They're not supposed to do that. Now, if there's violence going on and children are present, they're going to break the door down and they're going to come in. But if you be quiet, no noise is going on, everything's hunky dory, then that gives you time to get your attorney. That's one of the first calls you should make is get yourself an attorney. Now, I've talked about, texting messages and be a guest on my live stream. Another way you can interact is to call me. You can call me at 626-698-0990. And I'd love to talk to you. And my phone should be working. I made sure it is. I rebooted my phone. I use a program for this show called StreamYard. It's a internet phone program. I have my regular carrier program, but I have to reboot it so it doesn't get confused. But please call me and talk to me at 626-698-0990. Now, the other number that's shown on the screen is my lawyer that created this show, that is behind this show. It's 888-888-6582 is his number, and that's his office. And already we got a call. Good. Good evening. And this is Bob Pace with the live stream. Welcome you. And who are you? Oh, this is Stefan? Okay, do you like to be called Drain or Stefan? Well, first of all, I don't like Drain because I think it's derogatory. So I'm going to use Stefan. I like names like Betty and Mary and Bill and those kinds of names there. But anyway, you're from Georgia. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Someone from Georgia is calling. Hold on one second. Hold on. Good evening. This is Bob Pace with the live stream. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to? Yeah, hi. I have a call right now, 404, that just called in. Can I get back to you? Yeah, I'll get back to you. I won't forget you. Okay. So now we have the caller who is Stepan, and you're from Georgia, right? You're from Fulton County? Okay. Right. And you've had a reunification has been going on for 5 years?
Mary, and she that would, just pick up and come to her or whatever it was. She helped me with the kids, thinking like, hey, I'm doing something that your wife's not. But like she's been with my mom like on the low for a long time. So just to give you a little backdrop on who I gave my kids to, that was the biggest mistake of my life. So a month later, she sees that my mom isn't afterwards, she calling us, harassing me, and asking me to meet her out while we were literally be laying. Me and my fiance were laying on the ground,
Uh-huh.
and we didn't have nowhere to go. That's why we had to make it an executive decision to give them up. Now, they had already been gone from us for a month. And we just needed a little bit of time. We were communicating with them every day, checking on the kids, making sure they had everything was okay. And so eventually, his mom began to help the lady, and she started asking for money. We're like, we don't have it. We'll just come pick him up. So then and 4. They only let us see them once every 2 weeks, and it was too much for them. Every time that we would separate, they would cry. They wouldn't let us talk to the foster parents and check on the kids throughout the week. So eventually, of course, it became strained. My oldest son, he got 10-13, damn near the moment that they got involved, and they put him on Zoloft and Ritalin, and then they just did it to my 6-year-old. He's 6 now. He was 4 when he went in. They just did it to him just recently, and now all 3 of them are saying that they don't want to see us. Now, the crazy part about all of this is their therapist is an older woman, and she doesn't have a license. She's unlicensed. She hasn't had a license since 1988. It was withdrawn, and then it lapsed, and then it went withdrawn, and then it's been pending ever since I found out this information, ever since I knew. And this was a couple weeks back that I found out that she don't even have a license. And so
I have a couple questions to ask you for a second here. You say that a social worker is prescribing drugs. Since when are social workers doctors? You just said they're prescribing drugs for your children to take. A therapist is not a doctor. A therapist is not a doctor. Only a PhD, only a PhD with a medical license can prescribe drugs. Well, you let them. You let them. You let them, because you should have said right up front, you do not give my children drugs. You're not a doctor. And you should right away call the director. You call the director. How did the CPS first come to you? How did they first come to you? No, before they did that, did they knock at the door? How did they approach you? Where did they approach you from? Okay. So when they called you, why did you listen to them? You should have told them, if this is regarding a legal matter, I need to talk to my attorney. You may not have one, but it'll give you time to find one. No, it's not being stupid. I did the same thing. I did not know the laws or my civil rights or my constitutional laws. Right now, I'm only saying that for my listeners. I'm trying to help you because my listeners are listening and I don't want them to make the same mistakes. Number one, you never ever talk to social workers or the police. You live in a home, it's your castle, and your door closed, your drawbridge is up. You never let the drawbridge open. Okay. Oh, why did your mom let the CPS have your kids?
CPS. forget nothing.
Well, first of all, the rule is you never call CPS, you never call the police, you call 911. 911 is a public entity. They're required by law to record everything. The police will hide information. CPS will hide information. They will lie, they retaliate, they're not to be trusted. You always call 911. You always call 911.
Just because the other kids are in care, which we know that's against the law. Just because the other kids are in care, we're gonna go and take her baby. So they got order signed off at 8 p.m. by a whole different judge. And they, do you know that they came with the police and took my baby?
Well, yeah, because you allow them to take your baby, because you should have told the police, I can't talk to you. If this is a legal matter, I need to have my attorney present. By law, you're required at any time you're involved in a legal matter to have a lawyer present. That is required. That's your civil rights. Well, they're not in charge. See, that's the sad part is the police are intimidating. The social workers are using the police to intimidate you. The police are dumb. They follow what the CPS tells them to do. They're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to enforce the laws and have people follow the laws, but they're not supposed to take the law in their own hand and run wild with it. And that's what the police do. I know they are. And if you're black, they even work more crazier. For some strange reason, black lives matter, and they don't seem to recognize that. So do white lives. But I'm colorblind. But I tell you right now, to all you listeners out there, including yourself, you don't talk to police. You be respectful. You say, I'm sorry, sir. This is a legal matter. I need to have my attorney present. That's all you have to say. They can't do anything. They're frustrated. They're going to try to intimidate you. But if you don't answer the door, don't answer the phone, if you don't recognize the phone number that calls in, or you don't have a special knock with family and friends, you don't have to answer the door. My door rang. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Immediately, they him. Let me see my son just because of the therapist. The therapist is now or a visit with mom and dad because like how they conduct themselves or whatever the case may be. Mind you, this is not a therapist. She interrupts the visit. Of course, she don't know how to do her job. She's not that. So she gets mad at us because we say, well, what are we supposed to say? If you are redirecting us or telling us that we can't say this or you're going to cancel the visit immediately, making our kids feel uncomfortable, making us feel uncomfortable, and then we ask you, well, what should we say? And then you say, oh, okay, I'm not going to argue with y'all because you really don't know the answer. That's why she doesn't want to do the visit. So now she's saying, okay, I won't do the visit. So for 4 whole months, I had to wait until I got another therapist because I don't have 5 therapists. now. And they're using this by saying, okay, well, the therapists are saying you're not cooperating, you're not admitting to domestic violence. And there's never been no domestic violence. I took 3-4 assessments that said the same thing, but you're telling me because I'm not talking to my therapist about it, which I did. I even sent them the domestic violence assessment. They still said that I'm not in compliance, and not only that, but I've had 5 therapists. They've changed me 5 therapists saying that I'm incooperative, and the therapist just don't want to deal with me. But the therapists be so sad that they have to do this that they say, well, this is going to be my last week. I want to tell you before I tell anyone, having me reiterate this stuff and open new wounds more and more and more and more.
That's because parents don't do this. You tell them, I cannot talk to you unless I have my attorney present. No, it doesn't. There's no such thing as a therapist in CPS. There's no such thing as a doctor in CPS. It's all storytelling. They think they are everything in the world. They should not be putting your children on any kind of drugs. You told me that they put them on Zofloth, Ritalin. Ritalin and Zoloft have to be prescribed by a doctor. And what you can do is tell them if they're going to put your kids on drugs that you will be accountable for that because that's illegal. And what you need to do is stop wasting your time dealing with a CPS entity that you think is sensible. They're not sensible. They're bad. They're evil. You need to get yourself either to the director of social services in your county, or you need to go to the governor, if the director's no good, you can go higher up. And in fact, I'm going to put up something here that I've been putting up lately that a lot of people are doing now. They're going to Doge. You ever heard of Doge? Okay, Doge is a new government organization. It was created by Donald Trump. His campaign promise was to rid the government of disruption and take advantage of the government people. People right now in the government are sitting at home doing nothing and getting money. People in government are dead and they're still getting money. There is bad system in there. So they created Doge. Now, Doge stands for the Department of Government Efficiency. It's a website. Hold on one second. Hello, this is Bob Pace. I'm on the live stream with a caller. Who is this? Yeah, I can only talk to one person at a time. So I have to talk to you. I have one other call ahead of you. I can only talk to one person at a time. I suggest you think about doing my live stream where you come on as a guest, and that can take 9 of you. But I'll be back to you, not to fret, all right? I got your number. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get back to you, Stepan. What you're doing is you're thinking that CPS is a rational group of people. You think they're professional people. You think they will help you. They think they know how to do family reunification. Instead, you got a bad group of individuals. They're prescribing drugs which they don't have a license for. They're doing things for you that you're not supposed to do. I'm sorry, I just had a third call come in, so I'm back with you. And what you got to do is you got to realize you're not dealing with rational people. CPS is corrupt, so you can't deal with them. You're going to have to go higher up. That's why I suggested Doge. Doge does talk to people that call into them. There's 2. Why do you talk to them? Because they're trying to investigate corruption. I'm sorry, what? Well, you sit there and you call 202-456 quadruple 1, or you do 202-456-1414. 202 is the White House area code, and you're directly connected to a live person. It's on my screen. If you look at my screen, it's on my screen. And if you want to email them, it's email. You can do doge@mail.house.gov. Now I know that they work and they do listen. 2 weeks ago, I was talking to social services, and on the phone came a Doge rep. And the Doge says, "We're listening to social service in your conversation. We are checking out social services and what they do for people." So I know for a fact they're investigating CPS and social services. So they also have a web page. No, it's the one that's on the screen that says 202-456 111 202-456-1414. You see that? It's right now on the screen. Yes, those are the two numbers. There's also the email address, doge@mail.house.gov. There's also the website, doge.gov. You see it? It's on the bottom of my screen, right below my chin. Okay? It's right there. The 888-658-2 is my law office. That's where you can reach Mr. Davis and reception. That's where you can find out when there are live streams and who's on, and you also get books and information and pricing. All I ask you is you tell the receptionist that Bob Pace sent you. Or if you speak to Mr. Davis, tell him that Bob Pace sent you. But Doge is where the buck stops. If you're not getting anywhere with the governor of your state or with the state representatives, like your senator or your representative to part of Congress, your Congress people, or the mayor or the director of CPS in your county, or the ombudsperson at the state capitol, or even the civil rights coordinator. If you can't get to any of those people, then you go to Doge. That's where the buck stops. And they'll listen. The more people that complain to Doge, the better off we were. I wish all my listeners, over 2,000 people that talk to me, would write an email to Doge and have them check out CPS in every county. Now, I don't know how many counties are in Georgia, but in North Carolina, there are 100 counties. That's a lot of CPS. There's 100 counties. They all have different names. But every state has, a lot of counties. So Georgia must have more than 100 because it's a big state. It's a very popular state. Well, that's for intimidation. That's for intimidation. Technically, the police, yeah, technically, the right. It's a waste of time going to the police precinct. They're corrupt. Technically, the police are supposed to protect. Well, of course not. I told you have to call 911. Police doesn't keep records. I don't mean to badmouth the police because not all policemen are bad. Not all police agencies are bad. But there's enough of them, enough rogue ones that do make it bad. There's been too many cases. Well, what do you want to call the police on who? The district attorney? No, he doesn't answer to the police. The district attorney answers to the governor. They are corrupt. You've entered very corrupt people. You've entered very corrupt people. I'm sorry to tell you that because that's why you don't want to waste time anymore. I'm telling everybody, go to Doge, go to Doge. The more people that call into Doge, the more better CPS will be. If we had every one of my listeners that come on here, over 2,000 of you, Call Doge, send an email to Doge, tell them how bad CPS has been to you. Tell them that they're prescribing drugs when they don't are not doctors. Tell them they're doping up. I have so many parents here that have been foster care, they've been doped up all their life, and because they didn't clear their record when they became 18, that haunt them because the database stays there. And the foster people and the CPS people will follow you when you become an adult and you start having children. I have a mother who's 40 that she's been placed on drugs all her youth up to 18 and continued with the drugs. And she thought she still had to follow CPS. She's 40 years old. They took away her child. This is very unfortunate what they're doing. It's very unfortunate. So I know where you're coming from, but the more we talk to Doge, the more we talk to our state senators, our senator, our representative in Congress, the more we talk to those people, the more we off. And you just be very professional about it. You just say, sorry, sir, sorry, ma'am, but I need to have an attorney represent me. This is a legal matter. You are allowed by your rights, your constitutional rights, to have a lawyer present. And you have a right to get one, and you have a right to get time for one. So the immediate time that you get involved in trouble, the first thing in your mind should be, I need a lawyer. Now, when you get it,
and we have to see the kids, but that's because they're saying that the kids want to see us, but this is coming from an unlicensed therapist. CPR, it was for them to do a CPR, but then they changed it to a review. And then they said that we were going to come back and discuss it July. They just changed it again to August 11th. So they're just prolonging the case. Like they wait 3, 4, 5, 6 months, come back. I be done did everything they asked me to do, and then they say we don't continue the case.
Yeah, yeah. I do want to tell something to Carrie Sampson, who wrote in. They took her kids without signing an order by the judge. All I'm struggling, well, you didn't take your kids, Carrie. You gave the kids. They don't take the kids.
Oh,
You gave the kids, Carrie. All your parents out there that let them in the house, you gave them in. I did the same thing. It's wrong. I know you're struggling
yeah,
and you wait. Well, how did they get in your house? Your mom let them in. Well, that was the bad thing about it because you need to tell all your family, friends, your acquaintances, whoever it may be, that your house is your castle, that you control the drawbridge. Absolutely nobody goes in this house unless they're a family member and you have a recognition signals. Well, if you could have called, if your friendly friend took your kids, you could have called 911 and say kidnapping has taken place. Oh, yeah. See, you gave the kids. You should never give your kids to anybody, to be honest with you. Your kids should always remain with you. I don't trust anybody. And I'm sorry to say that because it's really, really bad. But anyway, Carrie says that she is struggling and wait right now a hard time to affording an attorney. I know most of us don't think about buying legal insurance. You need a real attorney. Carrie further says every time I hear people make mistakes by opening their doors or something like, but some sort of us learning from our mistakes here now, just trying to fix our mistakes and get help. I agree, Carrie. And that's why I have made 5 rules that, I made a mistake by not getting a real bona fide attorney. I made a mistake by not doing documentation. I made a mistake by opening my door. I made a mistake by giving my kids up. I made a mistake. I didn't research the internet about CPS. I made a mistake not making copies of important documents to have with me at all times. Cruella, you're not late. Cruella is um, Felicia from Oxnard, California. Welcome, Cruella. She comes in my room twice a day, 7 days a week. She's been doing it for years. She is a mother who is taking care of her mom, and her mom needs assistance from someone. She also had 2 babies. She gave up her babies to her dad, but her dad now refuses to give them back. Her brother is trying to oust her out of her home. But Christina Reynosa is putting together a complaint and trying to help her so she does not lose her 2 babies and she does not have to leave the home. The only problem is the mother's disappeared. So family members sometimes interfere. I hate to say that, but not all family members you can trust. Now, hello, Intended Eve from California. It's good to see you again. All right, those are all the people in my room. I have on the phone right now Stepan from Georgia, who has a very horrible case because they've given her kids drugs. They weren't licensed to do drugs. They weren't doctors that give drugs. Her friend took her kids and turned them over to CPS, which is wrong. So now she's been fighting. So when is your next court date, Stepan? Are you still with me? Stepan. Yeah. All right. And August 11th, what are you going to do? What's the court date about? You don't need to give up your kids. Don't trust them. They're not going to keep their promise. They're not going to keep their promise.
She's the kid in there too, and intimidating my children.
Mm-hmm.
He them just never seen a recording. My lawyer has never seen a recording. Their dad, who is now pro se, he has never seen the recording, but he says that there's a recording where all of the boys are saying that we beat them and all of this. They've seen the doctor's record. She even went in the report and made a report that I beat him up, stomped on his head, and then took him to the hospital and got his head wrapped up, and they let him go because he said he fell. Right. Like, we know that don't even work like that. Okay, right. This is not work like that.
Okay.
If you're here because there's the boys don't want to see us. And then they keep changing the case plan, saying that, okay, well, maybe in due time, the boys will loosen up and say they want to see y'all and y'all, whatever. But it's like they waited until the boys, no longer want to see us. First, they just took the visit because the therapist was saying she didn't want to go, do it with us. And so we're asking, okay, so can we have another therapist? Because obviously she's not right for the family. They refuse to give the kid another therapist.
You don't want them to provide therapists. If you want a therapist, you call your medical plan and say, I want a therapist for my kids. Do not take therapists from CPS. Do not trust CPS. They're going to try to do drug tests. Do not take their drug tests. You do your own drug tests. You do your own evaluation. And also, intended Eve. Intended Eve, no, you don't communicate with them all through email or text messages. You have your attorney communicate with them. You need to go through your attorney to communicate with CPS. They are a bad entity. You're wasting your time trying to deal with them yourself. You hire an attorney, or if you don't afford one and you want to use the court-appointed attorney, make them work. Tell them they have to work for you. Tell them if they don't, that you report them to the state board of lawyers and have their license removed, and you sue them for negligence. You can tell them their negligence. Well, you're wasting time with them. If they haven't performed in the first week or two, I would try another court appointed attorney. If that doesn't work, I'd try a third one and a fourth one and a fifth one. No, you can do other ones. You can do other ones.
Scared to hear anybody and say, hey, you're not doing a good job. Let me get another attorney because they're saying that it's the judge's discretion. And my fiance just tried to get another attorney after 3 years. Like, they're not even letting him come on the stand. They have put him out of the court so much that now he can't even come to court. But he haven't done anything. He haven't interrupted anything. They just kick him out of court because he asked, can you speak? And so now he's banned from court. So how do you file motions? He's file them now, but we didn't even know that we could file motions. We didn't. So like now, 3 years later, like we're doing all the research and trying to figure out what can we do, but there's so much damage that's been done. It's ridiculous.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying there.
There's like they discriminate against me. He knows the therapist is like it, and even my attorney said that the therapist is biased. And guess what? He still she even proved it by the questions that she asked her. And even like with the progress, making the progress and all of this stuff. And he still is allowing for this unlicensed therapist to be assigned to my case because he's allegedly working under somebody else's license, and she has been for 5 years. And she hasn't had a license in 1988. I know that 5-year time frame that they get to work under somebody have expired by now. And the lady whose license she's working underneath have never came to court, have never wrote a statement to the judge, have never even got on the stand or been subpoenaed to court. So I'm like, what in the world? I'm like so confused. Even 3 years later, they're doing everything I'm supposed to. I'm still confused. I'm still like, don't know what to do. So the next thing they're trying to do permanent guardianship. But my lawyer has had a motion to return kids for like 10 months now, and that we still haven't got to yet.
Yeah, I agree.
She had a motion to return, the kids, and then she had a motion to dismiss the baby case. The baby have already been dismissed. She doesn't even have a protective order because the kids are in court. She doesn't have nothing on her, not one thing, and that's real awkward because usually they'll do an ongoing, from what I read, for Georgia law. But because they took the baby illegally at 8 p.m. at night, and then when we went to court, the judge was like, give her back her baby or whatever. They sent her to a transporter. My baby was had poop all on her. She had pee all on her. They didn't even drop her off how they picked her up with a social worker or something. They just sent her with a transporter. So I'm just like disgusted with CPS, and I'm definitely gonna call those. And I thank you so much, Bob. I don't know if somebody else is trying to talk, but
Yeah, I know what you're
I
going
need
through.
help.
I know you do, and I really care for you, and I will help you. I will not give up on you. I'll let you talk as much as you want on my show, and I'll let you come often as much as you want on my show. Now, welcome back, Betty Joe. Betty Joe is a foster parent from Montana. She helps in this show. She is trying to get back her niece, that her brother's child, and she's dealing with uh, a very corrupt CPS in Nebraska. And so I have people in here, including Tenda E from California, that try to help. Yes, we do document everything that we say or do with CPS, but the less we talk to them, the better off we are. It's a yes no answer. If they ask you a question, you answer it yes or no. And if it's too complicated, you say, I need my attorney present to talk about this. Now, when you start saying that, they're going to say, well, wait a minute, you have a court appointed. I said, I need my attorney present. The problem is the CPS has made the court appointed attorney cumbersome because they've given them 30 to 100 cases. That's too many cases for them to handle. Also, CPS controls the public attorney. You need a real attorney. And I really, really, if you want to win your case, I had to sell my home. I gave up a lot. My life has been ruined for the last 15 years. I've not had a normal life. It's really hard for me. I've been doing this since 2013. 2023, October. And it's been hard. It's been hard because I do have a job, but I'm paid Bangladesh wages and I'm never paid on time. And it piles up to where I'm owed over $2,000. I cannot afford being in debt that much and still pay the bill, especially if a car bill comes up and I got to do brakes. I needed a check, $800 check on Saturday to pick up my car. It didn't come through, so my car sits there. I had my brakes done. I already earned the money. I've earned the money weeks ago. I'm so far behind. So it is hard for me because I have to still take care of my struggling family. I still try to take care of my struggling family. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about you guys. That's why I'm here. I care about you. And I do make a difference. People have told me I've helped them so much. Well, Cruella, how you can record your phone calls? You have an application on your phone that will record your phone calls. It will tell you you're recording a phone call. At least with my phone, I can record phone calls. Now, Tennedy says, remember, it's no different from a criminal civil family law case. You should not be communicating with the party that's suing you. There's no difference. I agree. Every communication should be through some sort of record keeping method for your sakes. You should always meet in public spaces, Starbucks, McDonald's, the library. Don't go to their office. Don't let them in your home. That's not where you want to. Okay, we have about 5 more minutes here. Stefan, what else do you like to talk about? Did I lose you, Stefan? Hello? We're still connected. We've been talking 42 minutes and 43 seconds. Stefan, well, maybe she'll be back in a minute here so we can talk, but I don't seem to hear her. So hold on one second here for a second. Back. I am broadcasting this from my home, and I do have my family members I like to try to take care of. We have right now about another 5 more minutes. I want to thank the thumbs up from the gentleman in Indonesia, Butai Hao. I'm probably pronouncing your name right, but I do have international people listening from all around the world. I have a new person named Andrew Brapson. Welcome, Andrew. I have no idea where you're from. If you could state me where you're located, your city or county, your state, and if you're outside the United States, your country. Also, I have a name, Andrew, which is good. I have a name, Andrew. Now, Carrie says, Betty Joe, I need help. So, Carrie, you can talk to Betty Joe. If you two want, I can help out you guys communicating. Betty Joe is on Facebook. I don't know if Carrie Sampson is or not. Andrew Brapson. Does Georgetta have Vince's victories featured in the press? I have no idea about what you're talking about, Andrew Brapson. Are you here about CPS? Is there something I can help you about that? Most people don't know who Georgette is. And Vincent, um, you know, we don't list victories. We help everybody. All I know is he's been doing this for 39 years and gotten back thousands of children back. He's gotten, and he sued CPS and won millions of dollars. I know that for a fact. Okay, great. You spoke to Georgette. Georgette is one of the people that helps people hire Vincent Davis. She is a case manager and she helps people hire Vincent Davis. Mr. Davis is a true CPS attorney. His background is juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. He's been doing this for 39 years. He's also a trial attorney. He has a strong background. He's done civil lawsuits when your case is over and sued CPS. His rate is $500 an hour. Locally, if you're in LA County, his retainer is approximately $5,000. But every case is complex, and it depends on the complexity and how long the case has been going to firm up a price. Like I gave a quote to a couple in Georgia for $125,000 for Vincent Davis to fly out, they rent a car, to stay at a hotel, and to eat, and to pay a license fee to practice law in Georgia. So the retainer was $125,000. Yes, Vincent Davis is the attorney that I work for. His name is right there above my corner of my screen, Vincent W. Davis, and he is for hire. And yes, he's almost 40 years. I do not give numbers. If you want to speak to Georgette, you call the office at 888-888-6582. I'll take down the conversations, and I'll take down my Doge thing and put my phone number back up. 888-888-6582 is the reception. If you want to speak to Georgette, you call that number. If you want to speak to me about hiring Vincent Davis, you can call me Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 or from 11 to 1. I will talk to you about how to hire Mr. Davis. So I'm really happy to see you here. Now, we lost Stepan. You're still connected to me, but you're not saying anything. So I've tried to wait for you, but I think I've lost you. I don't know what happened to you, Stefan, from Georgia, but you were here. So I need to wrap this up because right now I've run 59 minutes of show time. It's already after 8 o'clock, so my show ends at 8 o'clock. I want to thank Andrew Brapson for calling in. And you're from, where would you say you're from? You're from, you're from Tennessee. Now you're in Florida. Welcome, Branson. but I got to end my show. So thank you for coming in. The number's up on the screen. 888-888-6582 is where you can reach Georgette. Carrie Sampson, I hope Betty Jo does help you. Carrie Sampson's been on my show lots of times, and you can call in the next time. Betty Jo, thank you for listening. You have a person, Carrie Sampson, that needs your help. And Tennessee from California. By the way, Betty Jo is from Montana. I forgot where Carrie Sampson's from. And Tennessee is from California. And thank you for your help. Cruella is from Oxnard, California. And thank you for coming in here. And your phone application can return your calls. And I know you miss your boys a lot, Carrie. I know you do. And so as I go up the screen here and look at all the people called in, that was Stephen, who is called Drain. Are you back, Drain? Stephen? Yeah, well, I got to end the show, so I'm closing down. You disappeared on me. Yeah, I'll be talking to you, not to disappear, because I'll be able to talk to you again. But thank you so much for taking your time. Do not give up. All of you listening, do not give up on fighting for your kids. Come here. I'll encourage you. I'll support you. I'll do anything I care. I really do care about you and what happens. I'll do anything. I'm here twice a day. And I'll be here tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. And tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you guys do not give up. Keep hanging in there. There'll be a brief message from my attorney, Vincent Davis, when I leave this live stream. God bless you and good night.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your